Ladies and gentlemen, heels and heelettes, welcome back to another episode of Blunt Impact. I am your boy Chris G, once again joined by my tag team partner. We formed the Pot Heels. He is the three-time, three-time baby making champion Ness, and we are joined by our co-host, Mary Jane. Ness, how are you feeling today, my brother?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Not only was this a great go home episode of Impact, but we also have to celebrate. Not only are we celebrating Tommy Dreamer's birthday, I don't know if it was actually his birthday today, for this episode of Impact because they're all telling him happy birthday and shit, or if it's actually Saturday, the date of no surrender. But either or, happy birthday, Tommy Dreamer. We'll probably give you another happy birthday shout out on the No Surrender review roundtable. If we have a roundtable, it might just be us. Who knows? But also, we finally hit that 1K, man. Shout out to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel team. Everybody, I just want to, me personally, you guys don't know how much you guys mean to me. This was a long time coming, and we're just going to keep going up and away. 1,000 now, 100,000 by next year. Nah, I don't know, but we can definitely do it because we got some dope individuals, some dope ass content, and we're just doing great. It's a celebration, bitches.
It's a celebration, bitches. No, sincerely though, from me and Ness, obviously, we want to thank everybody who has been on this journey with us. 1,000 subscribers in the time that we did it. It is a testament to all the hard work that all of us put in. Not just me, not just you, everybody else that's editing shows, everybody else that's recording, everybody else that's out. We got Stat King in Chicago going to independent shows, getting interviews with people. We got you and Sid, interviewing people. We got SP3 on the Sports Key to doing this thing on Wrestle 2. It's a collaborative effort, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be on this ride, but it doesn't stop here.
No.
We have to remind everybody at home to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're at 1K. We want to make it to 10K, then 100K, then 100,000K, which is a million. But what, right? Yeah, 100,000K. That's a million, or 1,000K, whatever.
Whatever. Just subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah, just subscribe. Just run the numbers up. So before we get into this decent, I enjoyed this episode, but I think a few things kind of turned it into a good episode when it could have been great. So we'll get into that as we break down the card. But before we get into it, I want to remind everybody at home, we're gonna light up when we count down from 3 all the way down to 1. So we want you at home to light up with us. Ness, do you have Mary Jane ready?
Yes, sir, I do.
I got my Mary Jane ready. We're going to count down from 3, and then we're going to light up at the end. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. So we have a recap of last week's episode, just basically breaking down all the matches and big segments that happened. We're joined by D'Lo Brown and Matt Striker on commentary. We start off hot. The action is hot. We have an 8-man tag team match. These 8 competitors will be in a triple threat revolver match. I will explain what that is when we break down the no surrender card later on the show. But the 8 competitors in this match, one team was comprised of Trey Miguel, Suicide, Willie Mack, and Josh Alexander. And they were up against Sean Davari, Chris Bay, Ace Austin, and Blake Christian. Blake Christian, a little bit weird seeing him on this side because he has that white meat baby face feel to him, but we'll kind of get into the match. Once again, it's a preview for the triple threat revolver match at No Surrender. Weird rules. But this match was a solid tag match. It wasn't too crazy. It wasn't a crazy car crash. It started off kind of slow, just a lot of one-on-one exchanges between the competitors. Pretty much a preview of what we're going to see on Saturday, probably. Trey Miguel gets the hot tag. He looked really good coming back. Blake Christian also looked good when he got his time to shine because after the hot tag, it really turned up, kind of turned into that car crash feel, but it was a good mix. Trey Miguel makes Blake tap after an exchange. A little too long for my liking, considering the matches on Saturday. And we're going to see the same 8 competitors in some form or fashion. But we have a Sammy post-match promo on the screen, and he's trying to get into the head of Trey Miguel prior to Saturday's match. So I like the match. I like the match. Thought it could have been better. How do you feel about it?
I love the opener. You know how I feel about X Division style matches, and this definitely had it. I want to say that Trey Miguel definitely was the MVP of this match. And if we're picking MVPs from each team, Trey Miguel from his team, and I feel as though Blake Christian was the MVP for his team. It was weird seeing him teaming with the heels for the most part. While that was going on, him and Ace Austin, they're having their little back and forth. So I think that something's going to come up out of that, which I can't wait to see it. These guys already met in the finals of the Super X Cup, and that was great. Seeing them going back and forth during this match, even though they were supposed to be on the same team, that there's still that tension there. So that was definitely like some seeds I want to say that were planted to show that these guys were still they aren't finished with each other yet. But man, Trey Miguel, when he got into that match, this guy was 0 to 100 real fucking quick, boy. Cause this nigga was high flying, striking, submissions, mat wrestling, everything. He would transition from one move to one hold to another submission, and he was just literally all over the place. But it was so smooth and it looked so good. And I'm just like, wow, this guy has returned to Impact with a fire lit under his ass. And it seems like that fire is going to get fanned even more from Sami Callihan. But, at the moment, Trey's on another level at the moment. So I'm definitely digging what he's been doing. He did in this match. And, kudos to everybody, just pretty much a preview, like you said, of what we're going to get this weekend at No Surrender. But if this match is any indication of what we will see at No Surrender, then we're definitely in good hands.
Yeah, I should mention that the match at No Surrender will determine the number one contender to the X Division Championship. Next up, we have a match between Kimberly, comes out with Susan, not Karen, Susan, and Deonna Purrazzo. She is up against ODB. ODB comes out solo dolo, but she comes out with a beer and she's grabbing her tits. So +5 for that.
Oh, yeah.
Solid back and forth. ODB dominates early with some fucking pretty loud chops, pretty big chops. She looked good. Her cardio was up. She looks like she's moving well. She trimmed down. She looks in the best shape I've ever seen ODB in. So I'm very happy for her that she's back and that she's bringing depth to this division. I think they could use a little bit more depth since they lost Ty Valkyrie. Kimberly fights back. Outside interference from Deonna Purrazzo and Susan get her a little bit momentum. They have a commercial break. When we come back, ODB regains the momentum. There's about to be more interference, but Jordan Grace and Jazz make the save. Susan is out here throwing her fucking shoes at people, like if ODB was George Bush and she was that Iraqi reporter that time.
That's exactly what came to mind when that shit happened, dog.
He tried to hit him with the shoe. That's what she did. She's just pulling off her shoes and trying to throw them at people. Funny shit. ODB takes out Susan and Deonna outside, but when she gets back into the ring, Kimberly rolls her up and wins off the distraction. Post-match, backstage, Karen's pissed. I'm sorry, Susan. And she's going to talk to somebody's manager. So you know what? Fuck it. She's going to talk to Scott D'Amore, the actual guy who runs the place. And she's going to ask for a match at No Surrender, a 3-on-3. So the match itself wasn't bad. It was funny. It was funny. Just once she pulled out her shoes and shit. But I'm glad that ODB and Kimberly they look good. They put on a solid match. So how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely like ODB's look right now. She definitely looks like, I have to agree, probably in the best shape that I've seen her uh, pretty much since I've been watching her wrestle. I love the fact that she returned to Impact, bringing some validity to the Knockouts division, as if it needed any more, because the Knockouts have definitely been putting on some of the best matches and best parts of Impact for the past couple of months. But this match was a very good showing. I like the fact that they used Kimber Lee, because she's pretty much the second in command following the Virtuosa, aka the Demon Slayer, as we call her right here on Blood Impact. But yeah, man, it was a great match, and I like the fact that they're gonna keep it going. Um, Jazz comes back, ODB comes back again. These ladies are giving rubs to this current generation of knockouts. Jordan Grace with Jazz, and just them facing off against uh, Karen. I didn't want to call her Karen. Susan, Kimberly, and Deanna Peraza. It's great that this is all culminating into things for the ladies of Impact. So I can't wait to see this 3-on-3 6 women tag match at No Surrender. Uh, yeah, but highlight of pretty much all of these segments was Susan. The first time she threw her shoe, then she said she was gonna talk to somebody's manager, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna ask for a match." And then you got Deanna Purrazzo and Kimberly like, "What the fuck?" I'm pretty sure at this point they want Sue Young back or Susie, because Susan is doing the most.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see one of those reincarnations come back soon, but I'm liking the storyline for now.
Oh yeah,
Speaking of the knockouts, we have Kiera Hogan, one half of the Knockouts Tag Team champions, Fire and Flavor, as they like to be called. She's out with Tasha Steelz, her tag partner, and she is up against Nevaeh, who Matt Striker brings it to my attention for the first time. It is heaven spelled backwards. So in
yeah.
my notes, I've been spelling Nevaeh wrong the whole fucking time. So thank you, Matt Striker. You are an educator or former educator, but you are still educating. So thank you for that spelling lesson. But she is out with Havoc, her tag team partner. Outside interference from Tasha, but it was a decent back and forth. The ref is stopping Havoc from interfering, so Tasha hops into the ring and she hits Nevaeh with a move, but the ref sees her. So we have a DQ and Nevaeh wins. I thought it was a decent match, but a flat finish. I get the creativity, but it comes off goofy, just the way it looked. I wasn't a fan of it. Post match, the tag champs barge in on Scott D'Amore's office. They blame the ref for losing these matches. The ref got it in for them. He got something against them. Scott goes, you know what? We'll take care of this. In your future matches, the ref, he's not going to be the same ref. We're going to change refs. He's not going to be the ref for this match on Saturday. They're like, Saturday? Huh? Turns out, Ness Big booked it, of course. We're going to have a tag team championship match at No Surrender between, I believe they like to be called the Monsters of Mayhem, but Nevaeh and Havoc. And yeah, they're going up against Fire and Flavor, who are defending their championships. So, what did you think about the match, especially the finish? And what did you think about the whole blaming the ref? Because I thought that was one positive out of it.
Yeah, so this is the same ref that they like screwed over with the whole Fire and Flavor Fest, right? So that's great storytelling. Let's just start there. I'm gonna go to the finish. I like the idea of Kiera Hogan getting disqualified and not taking a pin, because Tasha Steelz just got pinned last week versus Havoc. So they got to find ways to be able to get Havoc and Nevaeh the tag or the Knockouts tag team title shot. So if you're not going to beat both of them at the same time, you can get victories. I just didn't want to see both of them get pinned. So the DQ finish was all right. It could have been done better. Who knows? But I did big book it, because how can you not have Fire and Flavor at No Surrender? Like, come on, they got to defend those titles. They're going to retain. So I don't want to jump into predictions. That's not even a prediction. that's a fucking spoiler. They're definitely going to retain. But I'm loving the storyline so far. It's great. Fire and Flavor are mm, one of my favorite parts of Impact. I like Havoc in the Bay as well. What do you call it? Monsters of Mayhem. But yeah, man, I'm riding that Fire and Flavor train right now.
Next up, we have Larry D. He's in the ring with Ace Romero's tag team partner, Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. Tennille puts herself over and the team. Larry D, basically, even though he was a caged up animal and he was locked up and being mistreated, it doesn't mean that he's going to change his stance on being a gentleman and striking a woman. So that's why they have Tennille. She puts herself over and over and over. Cuz has on the name Decay. Caleb wants to fight. He's feeling froggy. He wants to pick a fight. So the K comes out. They say they found a partner, and it is Black Taurus. Taurus. I have a terrible Hispanic accent. I apologize. I I seen a little bit of him. I think on a prior mashup between Impact and like AAA. But what I've seen from here, it was basically a squash. He killed Caleb with a K. They had a match. But he looked impressive. He was fast. He was fierce. He mixes well with the K because his look is fucking creepy, but in a good way. So I enjoyed it. And I guess maybe they'll have a little intergender three-way tag team match. We'll see. But how did you feel about this segment? And how did you feel about this surprise? Because I didn't see this coming. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit. Like when I seen it, I said, yo, that's dope. Because not only is it just out of left field, it's the fact that wrestling as a whole right now is like literally a melting pot, except for one company. But we're not even going to get into that. The majority of them have partnerships and they're using them. And this was a great idea because who did you expect to become to partner with Decay? Like nobody comes to mind. There's no one can tell me that they knew that this was going to happen. You got to at least like work for Impact or AAA to know that this is going to happen. But it's a great choice. He could definitely match up with Larry D and AC Romero. I already like the fact that like it seems like his gimmick goes well with the Decay's persona. So everything about this is like syncs up perfectly. So I definitely now I'm a little bit more interested, even though that fucking white privilege is running throughout this whole storyline because this nigga shot somebody and got to wrestle for his freedom. But anywho, I'm all for it. Decay versus Larry D or Triple XL and Tennille Dashwood with Caleb with the K.
Next up, we have the Good Brothers. Cut a nice promo on the beer guns. It wasn't usual funny, cocky, good brother type shit. They were serious. They were fired up, especially Carl Anderson. Gallows just looking tough. You don't want to fuck with Gallows. You know what I mean? And they had the match, Beer Guns versus Good Bros, for the tag team championships. Private Party comes out mid-match, but it was a good back and forth match until Private Party hits Chris Sabin while he's pinning one of the Good Brothers to cause the disqualification. If you watch Dynamite, I believe it was on Dynamite or Being the Elite, I can't remember which one, but Matt Hardy and Private Party were talking backstage, and they weren't happy that the Good Brothers cost them basically a shot at that AEW World Tag Team titles in the Battle Royal. So they said, Matt Hardy convinced them, you want to keep them champions so you can get your revenge at No Surrender. Or not, I'm sorry, not at No Surrender, whenever they have the title match. So Matt Hardy's backstage with the Hardy Party, and he's acting like a proud papa. Scott D'Amore interrupts, and he says he has a solution. He's afraid that the Beer Guns are going to retaliate in their championship match. So they can't do that if he just adds them to the match. So instead of a just regular tag team match, we're going to have a three-way dance. Private Party versus Beer Guns versus Good Brothers for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Now that sounds even better than Private Party versus the Good Brothers, because I like the beer guns as well. So I'm excited for the match. What do you think about the match? What do you think about the finish? And what do you think about the addition of the beer guns?
I love all of it. I enjoyed it. The match was great. Um, just seeing James Storm going again. Excuse me. Him and Saban mesh really well. Seems like they have been like tag team partners for a minute, or they tagged before. And I think that's how nice they gel together. Um, Hardy Party, that's funny. So they come out. Hey, Saban and Beer Guns won though. They didn't win the tag titles, but hey, at least you won the match. So you can be mad, but you really can't. Yeah, you can be mad. Yeah, you can be mad. So Hardy Party thought it was all shit was sweet. Scott D'Amore said, we're gonna throw them in the match. I liked it because that's what those assholes get for interfering in the match. Karma works fast. I think the match is gonna be dope at No Surrender too. I definitely do like the idea of it being a triple threat match.
Yeah, me too. I think it adds a little bit more to the match, just because of beer guns have a lot of prestige among on their names, especially in the tag team division. Even though they're not necessarily a tag team themselves, but they do work good together, so should be a
Yeah.
good match. Finally, the last big segment of the we're gonna start off with throughout the night we had happy birthday wishes for Tommy Dreamer. The first half was Impact wrestlers, nice and sincere from the heart, appreciating Tommy Dreamer, everything that he's done for them, being the guy that he is, the locker room leader, so to speak. And then the other half was AEW talent. You got MJF and Chris Jericho cutting ass on Tommy Dreamer. You had Eddie Kingston cutting ass on Tommy Dreamer. Just good shit. Taz wished him a happy birthday. I think somebody else I can't remember. Oh, I wanted the Young Bucks. We seen an appearance from the Young Bucks, which is cool to see on Impact Wrestling. So yeah, we get that, and then we get the contract signed for the World Championship match and No Surrender. And I will say this is one of the better signings that I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Scott D'Amore puts over No Surrender. He puts over Tommy's birthday, which is actually on Saturday. I think they got all that happy birthday shit out the way today because they probably don't want to bring it up on Saturday. They want to have it make it feel as serious as possible. Hopefully, I could be wrong. I think that's where they're going though. Tommy Dreamer appreciates the opportunity. He sees holes in Rich Swann's defense, and he will attack them. Moose interrupts, of course, the real world champion. But Scott's not putting up with it. You're not going to ruin this moment. You're not going to interfere. If you interfere in the match, you're going to get suspended. Moose basically says, look, I already beat Tommy Dreamer. I can hurt Rich Swann whenever I want. I just wanted to remind you, I'm the real world champion. Him and Rich Swann get a little, close. But Dreamer cuts in, tells everybody to cut this shit. Moose was sending him texts after he beats him, and he says he's glad that he lit the fire under Moose because Moose has been producing his best shit since that match. Dreamer's intense, talks about helping the young superstars. He signs the contract. He shakes hands and hugs Rich Swann, and just good shit, man. No physicality. We don't need to see any physicality. A good reminder that Moose is still there, and I'm actually excited for a Tommy Dreamer match, mostly because Rich Swann. But I feel good for Tommy Dreamer because it's a milestone for him, and we do. I feel he is a little underappreciated. I might fuck around and be like, oh, I don't care for Tommy Dreamer matches, but it doesn't mean I don't respect all that he's done in the business. So that being said, what do you think about the contract sign?
Excuse me. Yeah, man, this was just a great segment all around throughout the whole night. Uh, Tommy Dreamer, man, gonna be 50 and still going. Like, you hear people talk about, oh, you hate where guys like part timers come back and they're like old, so to speak. Like Tommy Dreamer is not a part like really wrestles, so like I don't ever hear anybody like throw him in that conversation, and I like that's what I think about when I think about having someone older wrestler still going, that he can actually still go, no excuses, no half-ass, and not gas. He can still perform, like maybe not to like where he was 25 years ago, but he can still give you something decent. And um, the promos and this whole contract signing, man, he was just like, I felt that shit, honestly. Like, wrestling, I'm using this shit to get away from the rest of the world. Like, I felt that shit when he said that. Like, it's been a long week. Let's just say that. And like now I'm just watching Impact, and like, yeah, I want that feeling of I'm just focused on wrestling right now. Fuck everything else. And I want to be entertained. And that entertained me. So he definitely put more put more of, I don't know, my attention on this whole segment. I don't know, Rich was just chilling. Like Rich was just like laid back. But like this was all about Tommy. Obviously, it's gonna be it's his birthday, but like yeah, I think he's carrying it home on his end because he really hasn't done or said anything since this whole thing has started. Like Rich just told him he was old, and that was it. He was just like, oh, I'm gonna show you I'm old. Like I'm show you how old I am. But like now he's bringing it full circle. Like, I know how you are right now. Like I was like that so many moons ago. And he's just like, look, I just want to make a beautiful segment, or I'm sorry, a beautiful statement in wrestling, and have this match and no surrender, just for the love of the business, the love of the sport. Like Tommy Dreamer really is, in my opinion, like the heart of wrestling. He's just still going, and I don't know, man, just getting a little emotional. I love Tommy Dreamer, but I think it was fucking great. And then Moose, I don't know. I don't want to bait Bookie, but I think he might show up on at No Surrender too. But yeah,
I think he'll show up after the match, but I don't
yeah,
think he'll. Yeah, I think he just wants to remind people that he's still there. So a few segments that we'll just run through real quick. If you have any thoughts, just feel free to blurt them out.
all right.
First up, we got Swingers Palace, which is Johnny Swinger got his own casino in the back. Halal buys out of money. He tries to put down a cookie on the game.
Oh,
Not
fat
gonna
fuck.
happen. Yeah. Swingers, Johnny
Nigga said
Swingers is
I'm
security
out of
too.
chips. He was like, yeah, but I got a chocolate chip.
And it was half bitten. Alicia Edwards
Yeah.
pointed out that it was half bitten. So he tries to put that up. Um, Fucking Swinger throws him out because he's a security too.
And he steals the
Bravo takes the
cookie.
cookie anyway. Yeah, Bravo takes the cookie anyway because he's another fat bastard. So hey, whatever. I don't turn down cookies either, even if they're half eaten. So I can't complain. Cousin Jake comes out. It's about to cut a promo. Thankfully, Violent by Design interrupts, and Eric Young tries to convince him to join. Cousin Jake believes in something, and that's Jake something. Oh,
Nah,
but he
you
gets
like
beat
yo,
up.
I like that. I like that. And I'm gonna tell you
It's,
why.
it's his it's his delivery. It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
It's his delivery.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of his delivery. I think he needs a lot of work. So
I can agree with that. But my whole thing was he finally found himself, like since when Diener turned on him, he didn't know who the fuck he was. But he's like, if I don't know who I am, but I know I have to stand for something. I am Jake something. This is my something that I need to do. Now, oh yeah, we'll get into that later. But
yeah,
I like
yeah.
that
We'll save those. We'll save
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Next up, we got Raju, and he's with Shera in the background. Cuts a promo on TJP hyping up their match for No Surrender, which we'll get into. We have a paid ad, another one, of course, by Tony Khan. brings up Kenta, the usual, puts over AEW Dynamite the card. He brings up the Forbidden Door being open. He takes credit for the Forbidden Door, but he thanks Impact for starting the process. If it wasn't for Impact, he wouldn't have become the Forbidden Door. And he swings both ways and is open to anything. Of course, he's with Tony Schiavone, trying to keep in his laugh the whole time because, man, he gets better every week. He's hilarious. But how do you feel about this? I know you like this.
Yeah, this shit was hilarious. Yeah, when he said that, I'm the open door, swing for you. I said, whoa, pause, Tony. But he's just like, oh man, he got the character down, man. This shit is hilarious. I wait for this every episode of Impact. We have another paid ad. I said, fuck yes. You pay that $100 a week for that segment. You damn right. I'm looking forward to it. And then, but he hypes it up. He hypes up Dynamite so much. I watched Dynamite tonight. I thought it was great, to be complete, in my opinion. But yeah, man. I'm waiting. Somebody needs to clap back. Like, that's the only thing I think Impact is lacking on. Like, somebody needs to start cutting promos on him. So, like, I really want to see his promo game because he could talk shit about the company. I want to see him talk shit about. Well, I mean, he talks shit about people, but I want to see him like actually go in on an individual and break them down with this same energy and this same aspect of his character. Like, I want to see some back and forth promo action between him and somebody. Get him an opponent. Get him an opponent. Tony Khan needs an opponent right now. He out here looking like Rocky.
I think
Apollo Creed.
eventually it's going to be Don Callis, but he's
It
busy
needs
right
to
now.
be. It needs to be
So who
somebody.
knows? Yeah.
He's
Maybe Scott D'Amore eventually sticks up
he's
for him.
sunning Impact right now. He's sunning them.
It's fine though. He's paying them right now. So.
But that's
And last but
what
not
makes it so
least,
great about it too.
that's true. Last but not least, we have Brian Myers paying off Hernandez. Now they have a tag team match at No Surrender though, so he wants his pay up front. Brian Myers goes, I'll give you half now, half later. Fuck it. He takes half of it now. Falaba is caught looking at his role in the background. Not much there. Might as well just get into the No Surrender predictions. We want to remind everybody that No Surrender takes place on Valentine's Day weekend, so probably won't be able to watch this live. So we're not gonna have a special for it. We're just gonna cover it on the next episode of Blood Impact. Maybe we'll have SP3 on. If he wants to cover it too, or whoever, Stat King maybe. We'll see who wants to join. But first matchup, we have Fire and Flavor versus the Masters of Mayhem and a Texas Tornado no disqualification tag team knockouts championship match. Who do you got?
Wait a minute, say that again. I was smoking. I didn't hear you.
Fire and Flavor versus Monsters of Mayhem.
Oh man, what? You already know who I'm
You were
on.
gonna pick.
Fire and Flavor, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with Fire and Flavor as well. We have the triple threat revolver match.
Shit.
Basically, do you know the full rules of this match? Because I know it starts off as a triple threat, and every time somebody gets pinned, somebody else comes in.
Yeah, until it's down to the
until
last
there's two people left. Until it's the last three people, and then it's triple threat match.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. So I'm gonna go with Chris Bay because I would go with Trey Miguel or Blake Christian because they look really good today. But Trey Miguel looks like he's heading towards a feud with Sammy. So I think Sammy might do something. And Blake Christian and Ace Austin had a little dispute, so that might be a good feud for Blake Christian. His first good big feud in Impact, if he is going to be an Impact regular, against Ace Austin makes sense. So I'm gonna go with Chris Bay because he's probably the most talented guy in that ring. So in my opinion, yeah, Who you got? This is a tough one.
Shit. I'm gonna go with. Fuck, man, this is hard. Shit, I'm gonna go with Trey Miguel. I don't know. I just like how he's moving right now. I think he got the momentum going into the pay per view. I don't know. I don't even like that pick.
You
Scratch
can't
that.
go
Let me
wrong.
pick.
He's probably the favorite.
Yeah, no, no. I'm not picking him. I'm gonna pick. Damn, who else is in this shit?
Willie Mack, Suicide, I think.
Nah, the nigga's not winning that shit. Um, fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll go with Trey Miguel. I can't think of
Next
anybody
up,
else, dog. I'm high.
it's a good pick. It's a good pick. You can't be mad with that pick. Next up, we got TJP versus Rohit Raju for the X Division title. I think Rohit Raju regains it. He got Shera on his side now. Maybe a distraction or something. We'll see what happens. But I think Raju comes out with the title.
I hope he wins. Fucking drop that shit, yo. I've been over TJ, and I like TJP as a wrestler, but that whole fucking storyline just pissed me the fuck off. I don't
You like him
get.
in New Japan Strong
Yeah,
and
because he's not fucking manic.
MLW.
He's not
Yeah, not an
messing up.
impact.
Yeah, like that was stupid. Get the title off of him,
Makes sense.
and then just let him wrestle, and then get him another title shot, and I'll be all right with it. But just after this storyline, let him drop the title, move on, do some other shit.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Next up, we have Deanna Perrazzo, Kimberly, and Susan versus Jordan Grace, Jazz, and ODB. I think the baby faces get the win. What about
I concur.
you? Triple XL with Tennille Dashwood versus the uh the new the newly version the new version of Decay, which includes Black Taurus, Black Taurus, Taurus. There we go, Taurus. Gotta work on my Spanish. I'm fucking slacking. Um, I'm gonna go with Decay though.
Yeah, decay, definitely. I'd be surprised if they ain't a squash.
Yeah, I hope they put on a decent match.
Nah, I ain't gonna be a squash. I'll take that back. I'm bugging.
Cody Cody Deaner versus Cousin Jake or Jake something, which
Uh,
is damn. I get it now because Jake something wasn't even his fucking original name. It was Cousin Jake, and now he's Jake something, and that was his name on the Indies. And oh, all right, now I feel different about it. I'm going with Jake something. Ultimate high moment when you finally realize something that you should have realized an hour ago.
that's what. Yeah. Um, shit. I'm gonna go with Diener. I think Violent by Design is gonna play in the match.
I don't know. He's been getting his ass beat too much. Unless this feud keeps on going, I think he gets the win, gets beat up after, and then hopefully Rhino Heath Slater or Heath finally make their return. We'll see what happens.
That sounds like a nice big booking.
Big booking. We're big booking it right now. It's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah,
Just
you take the reins on this chapter of the story.
absolutely. We have a match with Hernandez now and Brian Myers versus Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards. Don't really care about this, unfortunately. But I'm gonna go with Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards.
Yeah,
And finally, the main event, we have Rich Swann versus Tommy Dreamer with the world title. I love Tommy Dreamer. I'm glad it's his birthday. He's seen 50 years of life, half a century. Ain't no fucking way he's winning this title from Rich Swann, though.
yeah. Come on, Rich Swann is definitely going to retain.
Yeah. So we want to thank everybody for watching another episode of Blunt Impact. We also want to thank you once again for getting us to 1,000. Make sure to tune in to True Heel Heat on Saturday. I believe it is a live stream. And they will be giving away a shirt to the 1,000th subscriber. So some lucky subscriber will get a free True Heel Heat shirt or merchandise of some sort. Who knows? I'm high. Don't ask me. Ask SP3. Ness, where can we find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at excuse me, goddamn, I had a call. You can find me on Twitter at skinny_Kravitz. You can find me on Instagram. Shit, I hate my headphones. Yeah, I'm high, dog. You can follow me on Instagram at skinny__Kravitz. And you can catch me right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. You can catch me on Blunt Impact and Joints and Jabronis, my man Chris G. We form the Pot Heels, Straight the Ropes. You can also catch me on Review of Honor, my man, the Stat King, the man of 1,004 numbers. And you can also hear my illustrious voice on True Toxicity. Yeah, send us some topics. Gotta start
Non-wrestling
promoting
related.
that shit. Yeah, non-wrestling related if you into that. We talk about everything.
Yeah. If you want to learn something about weed, send us a question. We got you guys. Or anything else that you can think of. You can find me at Chris G or at True Hill Chris G. You could also find me here on Blunt Impact and Joints and Jabronis with my tag team partner, Ness. You can also find me on the Wednesday Night Warriors with my man Romeo Anthony Colon. And you can find me on True Toxicity where you can hear Ness's illustrious voice. So for everybody here at True Heel Heat, I want to thank you guys for the third time again getting us to this point. Let's keep running those numbers up and get to the next milestone. So for myself, Chris G, for the three-time baby making champion Ness, and for our co-host Mary Jane. We will see you guys next week. Peace.